Hello, hello. I'm so happy to see you in this module. This is module number 3. Module number 3 is a very different form that you're gonna see. In module 1, you see that you learn how to read loan estimate. Module 2, you learn how to read closing disclosure. And the loan estimate and the closing disclosure, the form is so similar. It's really similar. The number in there is also very similar too, so it's kind of easier to follow. But now we are going to a very different form. It's called settlement statement. Settlement statement will have more numbers. Of course, it includes all the number from the LE, the CD, but it have more numbers, and it's a little bit more complicated to look into it, because in the closing disclosure and the loan estimate, the form was divided into smaller sections, so it's easier for you to follow. But the settlement statement, it's a lot of numbers in like one section, so it's a little bit harder to read, but we will be able to read it though. It's not super hard, it's not super easy. I just need you to listen carefully and do remember when I talk to you, asking you to look at the number, find a number so that you can follow. I actually will use a classroom environment to teach the next lesson, because I would like to interact with the people so that they will ask the question that you might be asking, but because you are watching me on the video, you can't really interacting with me. So I use the classroom environment, so I have students sitting around me, so I explain the lesson to them, they can ask me question. I also ask them to participate, and when I ask someone to participate, I want you to be that student. When I ask you to read something, please read. Please just engage in the lesson, so that way you can follow and understand the lesson easier. And you will also see that some number in the closing disclosure, it's so different in the settlement statement. For example, the owner title policy amount in the closing disclosure is like $1,100 and something, or more than $1,000. But then the owner title policy in the settlement statement is only $600 and something. It's okay, as long as the number disclosed in the closing disclosure is more than the number in the settlement statement, then we're okay. So disclosure supposed to be the highest number, and the settlement statement should be less than whatever showing in the closing disclosure. So the closing disclosure is, all the numbers are very conservative. We just want to let borrower know, or buyer knows, that this is the maximum you're gonna pay based on the number on the closing disclosure. So in the settlement statement, all the number is more like the final numbers. So you might see yourself paying either the amount in the closing disclosure, or less than the amount in the closing disclosure. But the settlement statement, all the numbers are more like the final numbers, okay? So I'm so happy you are all the way to this lesson. You achieved so much so far. There are just a few more lessons, and you will become totally a very confident real estate investors, or a confident homeowners. So I look forward to see your success, and I hope you have a fun time learning with the classroom environment. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next lesson.